Hey, it's Caleb. Welcome to your Python Mastery course. This course is going to cover a lot. This first lesson is designed to just be an introduction, cover what we're going to talk about over the next several sections. So the best part about a brand new course is I always get to use a brand new piece of chalk, and that just makes me happy. So let's get started. So Python Mastery is split up into 8 weeks, plus a couple of bonus things. So we'll have a fundamentals here before the 8 weeks. And then we'll have a web development, backend web development with Python, dedicated course after the 8 weeks. So the 8 weeks here is really designed to help you master all of the tools you need in Python, development tools, libraries, different concepts of Python. So most of this course will be hands-on. We'll have a couple of dedicated chalkboard lessons for dedicated concept videos, but really this is designed to be mostly applied, so we'll have a lot of hands-on examples. That'll be a big portion of those 8 weeks, and then we'll finish it off with some focusing on AI and machine learning, designed to give you the fundamentals of these topics so you can start working with LLMs, as well as building your own machine learning pipelines. So that'll give you the foundation. It'll be a couple of weeks worth of content, and it'll give you enough so that you can then go into more advanced topics with AI and machine learning. Then the dedicated web dev course, that's going to go in a lot more depth and go from complete beginner, never built a backend application before, to being able to deploy your app to AWS. So it gives you the full end-to-end, which takes quite a bit of time, which is why I put it in its dedicated course, and you can watch that after the 8 weeks. Now, it doesn't have to take you 8 weeks. You could go through this at whatever pace you like, but I decided to put it at 8 weeks. I think most people will get the most from this course at that pace. So you're not doing way too much each week, or you're not just spending a few minutes each week. So as you go through this, I really want to encourage you to watch the videos, but also reference the notes all of the time, because I'm going to have additional links and information in the notes that you will then go research after the lesson. So you might spend an hour studying the lessons, but then spend another hour or two doing additional research so you can refine and sharpen your knowledge beyond what we talk about here. So let's talk a bit about the fundamentals and what you should know coming into this. You should already have some level of skill with Python, which is why I included the fundamentals. That way, for these 8 weeks, we're not getting caught up on the basics of programming. That will teach you all the basics of data types and basic data structures, variables, object-oriented programming, working with files and databases, all that good stuff. So definitely check out the fundamentals. By the end, you already have some experience building a small project, and that's going to be super helpful going into Python Mastery. But if you already have experience, you can of course skip that. But if you get stuck or you're having a hard time, you might need to go back to those fundamentals. And another argument for why you should not skip the fundamentals is if you're already experienced, it really shouldn't take you that long to get through them, so you might as well go through them. That'll make sure you're not missing any gaps that will then come back and bite you later on. The other major thing that I wanted to mention going into this is what operating system to use. So I am going to be developing on a Mac. I know many people will develop on Windows, and then a few of you will develop on Linux. If you want to develop on Windows, go for it, but what I would recommend is to use a Unix or Linux-based operating system. So either Mac, or you could install Ubuntu. However, if you're on Windows, you could also look into WSL, and that will help you get Ubuntu on your system. So that's what I would recommend if you are on Windows. And what this will do is it'll allow you to follow my content pretty much one-to-one, because all of the terminal commands will be pretty much the same. There could be some scenarios where you're installing some software where things get a little bit different, but it's going to be less different and less complicated than if you're using Windows. If you're already really experienced with Windows and you're not going to get caught up on, following my commands exactly, you're already pretty competent, then of course you could use Windows. But there is another reason why I would recommend going to a Unix or Linux operating system, and that is when it comes to deploying software. You're probably going to do that on some Unix or Linux OS. So if you just want to reduce the amount of friction in the entire process, I would start with that now. We'll talk about some other ways to improve the deployment experience, so you don't have to necessarily use a Unix or Linux operating system. For example, you could use Docker and run that within Windows. We're not going to get into all of the details right now, but I just wanted to mention that when I'm going through the commands, I'll be doing it for Mac. If there is an easy Windows or Linux alternative, I'll keep that in the notes, or I'll link to something that will show you how to do it. But if for any reason your commands are not matching one-to-one and you're on Windows, that's probably why. Just wanted to mention that going forward. It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I've just had countless people explain that they're running into issues and they're using Windows, even though I already told them to go with WSL and they refuse to do that. So don't do that. If you're on Windows, get WSL. If you're on Mac, then you can just follow along exactly like I'm doing. If you're on Windows and you don't want to go down the route of WSL, at minimum, you could install Git, and that's going to come with a Git Bash app that you can use, and that will give you many of the same commands that I'll use on Mac, similar to Linux. So that's another good option as well. And another request is if you're going through this with Windows or Ubuntu and you run into any kind of issues, let me know, because I could add that information to the notes so that nobody else runs into that problem. So let's talk about what we're going to cover in this section, the very first week. The main focus of this section is to focus on your environment. So getting your environment set up and various tools that can improve your development experience. The thing with Python is it's really easy to get started, but then the deeper you go, you find all of these different tools and packages, and a lot of them have very similar names. Everybody's got to put Py in the name somewhere, which doesn't make it any easier. So for example, there's Py, and then there's also Py. That's not confusing at all, right? One of these is for packages, and one is an implementation of Python. So what I'll do is I will show you exactly what tools you need to care about and tell you what to start using. We'll talk about formatting and linting. Again, lots of different options here. I'll show you exactly what to do. We'll talk about virtual environments and dependency management. So we'll get practice creating virtual environments and installing packages, and we'll do that in a couple of different ways. There's at least 2 tools you should be familiar with. There's a lot of them out there, but you don't have to learn them all. So I'll show you the way to go and also talk about some of the newer approaches that people are using. We'll talk about some inner details, so how Python works behind the scenes, explain things like CPython. This will naturally roll into the next section next week, talking about compiled Python and wheels and different platforms. Basically all of the stuff that you need to understand how to develop in Python. Doesn't even talk about the Python programming language. This is all just surrounding stuff. But understanding all this is going to help you create much better software. And that's the goal. We want to make it as easy as possible to create good stuff. So let's reduce friction, get the tools we need to create the best software, and get a deeper understanding of things behind the scenes so that we can fix issues when they come up later and you're not just driving blind. Now let's get a quick overview of what we'll talk about in the next few weeks. A big focus of this is quality assurance. While we're not really going to be talking, quality assurance. While we're not going to be training to be a QA, which is a software role, we're going to, as software developers, do anything we can to improve the quality of the software. Like I just said, using the appropriate tools, but also stuff in our code. For example, understanding how types work in Python, and type hints and how to enforce the structure of objects. So things like data validation. So that way we don't have that interpreted language experience where things kind of just are sloppy when the code runs. We want things to be ironed out as high quality as possible. So we want to reduce runtime errors. We're going to explore the standard library. So all of the different things you can import in Python that are already available to us, we don't have to install anything. Exploring these is going to widen your understanding of Python and what you can do. So we're going to go over some of the most important libraries that you should know. We'll also look at external packages. So things that aren't necessarily built into Python, but are still important. So we'll talk about the most important libraries to know. A big part of this is going to be parsing and working with data. This is pretty common and important with Python. So for example, if you scrape a website, how do you actually interpret that information? How do you work with things like CSV or JSON data? That's what we'll talk about. And then we'll touch on some advanced topics. Yeah, I know that's kind of vague, but basically I'll give you some information so then you can go and study these topics in more depth. As we realistically can't cover everything with Python, there's like unlimited use cases. My goal is to give you the core so then you have the skills to then do anything with Python. And some of these are big categories like the standard library. That's going to cover a lot of different things. But if you can do all of this stuff pretty well, then you should be a pretty proficient Python engineer. That'll be probably a little bit more than half of the material, and then we will explore AI and machine learning. We'll look at the details of what we're going to cover when we get to those sections. But really from this, I want you to be able to understand LLMs and how to work with LLMs that are out there in our Python code. And then also getting a fundamental understanding of machine learning if you were to build your own machine learning pipelines. Now this will give you a really solid foundation, but there are unlimited advanced courses you could then go on from this point. Again, my goal is to give you that foundation so then you can be successful in any of the topics around AI and machine learning. We're not going to learn, how to code machine learning algorithms from scratch. That's out of scope. Really what I want you to get from this is using some of the most important libraries and understanding how they work, how you would actually work with data for machine learning. So you should be comfortable with NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn, and probably some other stuff in there as well. So again, we'll get to the details when we get to those sections, but that's an overview. So that's all I have as an introduction. As a reminder, remember to refer to the notes as you go through these lessons. That's where I'll put any important code as well as any important links. If you have any issues as you go through the content, say something in the community and I'll do my best to get it answered. Next up, we're going to look at our environment, set it up for the rest of this course, and talk about things like type checking, all the good stuff. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next lesson, and I'm looking forward to the next 8 weeks and beyond. Thank you. I'll see you there.